This morning we are taking apart a snapping turtle I found. And we have quite a bit of processing being done right now. Check these out. So what happens is that these caps come off the claws. And then these are obviously bone. Now this one actually got hit by a car probably like an hour, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes before I found her. She was still partly alive. And so I put her out of her misery because there was no saving this one. Shell was cracked, blood everywhere, just suffering. But we can give her new life. Today we're gonna go see an island that has had her name taken off of Google Maps and Apple Maps. Now the reason why her name has been taken off of those maps is due to culture. We are at I think we're at the 6th or 8th, between 6th and 8th stop of Lewis and Clark here on the Mississippi River, headed to St. Louis, which is super cool. I feel like I have a very deep connection to the Ohio River at this point. And I can't wait for that same type of connection with the Mississippi. It's almost like having a new girlfriend, you know? It's like, you know, they're kind of similar because you have a type or similar history, I guess, due to the region. I'm gonna finish up these claws and then we're gonna go do a little fun excursion. And check out this wilderness area on this island. It's a huge island, by the way. It's not a small one. This thing's big. You could probably fit a full town on this bad boy. Easily. We'll get on to a nice little adventure.
We just some motherfucking kids. The pain these days of rain, you playing.
So we have two water crossings here. We have this smaller one and then the Mississippi. Stinging Meadow right there. We'll get through and then rock on. There's a way to walk through Stinging Meadow to where it doesn't get on you too much. There's a snapping turtle. Do you see the wind right there, by the way? There's a snapping turtle that's so pissed off that I'm here, right over here. Keeps on diving every time I look over. Raccoon tracks, it looks like. The thing about being way out here on the Mississippi is it's really untouched. Think about the small towns that are out here that are like 300 people. 10,000 people is a big town here. There's not a lot of exploring of these areas happening except maybe during hunting season. And even then, you don't really hunt the island, you know? you're not really exploring. I found a little deer trail. You're not really exploring on the off season. So it goes untouched and you can just find treasures. Look at this. So do you see? So it's 1 pint. You're always looking for this. Federal law forbids the sale or what does it say? Reuse of this bottle. You're always looking for this, okay? But look at this. I have never seen one with the triangles on it for the label or around the label. This is a treasure. But look at this. And it goes all the way around. All right, we are packed to the brim with gold glass, okay? Obviously when it floods, those balls get pushed in or left, depending on how old they are and who's been here. Gold, that's what I'm saying, is out here in the middle of the United States, and on the east side of the United States. When you get out here, there's gold out here, okay? Not just animal life, not just plants, but like relics. They just sit there waiting, just waiting to get picked up and used. Okay, let's make it to Devil's Island, okay? I don't know if I explained the name of the island yet, but it's Devil's Island. It's a wildlife management area. I actually met one of the men who manages some of this property. They're building levees. They flood the cornfields in this area. They rent the cornfields out. And then when the corn dies, they flood them and the birds come in. And then you hunt the birds. It's very, very cool. And right there is Devil's Island, wildlife management area. Now again, it is not recorded on Google Maps or Apple Maps as anything. It's just an island. But if you get into some other maps, you start seeing Devil's Island, Devil's Island, Devil's Island, Devil's Island. Let's get on the river. We have made it to Devil's Island. Now the river crossing of the Mississippi to this island was not hard, but because of the clay cliff, there's only at least from what I could see from the other side, a handful of places to get in. And so due to the currents, because there are some gnarly currents on that river, I had to push pretty hard for a little bit. Got caught up in some trees on the far bank and pulled myself in. And we were good to go. Got spider webs all over my face. We have indigo buntings here. We have veros here, red-eye veros. We had a red-headed woodpecker. So I've been walking this island for maybe 30 minutes, kind of cruising. I found some terribly beautiful bottles, and I like things I've never seen before, never heard of. Super stoked. I mean, I'm not a bottle genius. I just got into glass like in the last 3 months. And so just to carry, you know, snake skins and feathers and insects and stuff like that. You know, I wanted to put them in cool things. I'm finding some amazing stuff on this island and around it. And it's huge. This thing's huge. You could explore it for 5 days, a week. There's a town shed. That I'm headed to. We're gonna see if there's anything there. And if there's not, it is what it is. If there is, sick. I think this is a wonderful place to come and explore and connect with Mother Nature. And it's cool because Lewis and Clark didn't camp on this island. They could have, and we just don't really know. Ooh, that was a big spider web. Okay. I don't know what this is, but we're gonna kind of take some of this stuff off and expose. It just looks like a torpedo, but it's not because this is all welded together, right? Anyways, give me a second here. Okay. There she is. It's probably fallen off of a barge and washed up here. And again, I'm not 100% what it is. Just due to the shape of it confuses me a little bit. But I have a little friend I'm emailing from the university that's down here in Missouri, and I think I'll be sending this off to them. These rivers are so large and so traveled back long ago by the French, Spaniards, British, Americans in the early days. I wonder what years did the people start noticing that the rivers were no longer being traveled the same amount. You know, they just started seeing a dwindling of people on the rivers. It was probably during the Ford years, you know, where Ford started making vehicles and trains and, well, I don't think he did trains. He actually did boats, honestly. But when vehicles started coming into play and roads, only seems to be freights and the occasional fishermen that just hit the rivers. What is this? So, looks like another deer stand that's fallen over. And I've only seen one deer here. I've only pushed one deer out. Look at that. That's a proper... Oh, you know, is that where they would hang the fish or something? I don't know. It's very interesting. Maybe it was an old cabin, actually. You see that? You see like where the stove would come out for the heat? And it's just fallen over. Little propane. Deer stand ladder. Now that's a nice ladder. And a brush. This is cool. Chairs, it looks like, for the most part. And then a smoker. It looks like it might be a smoker with a tarp over it. Let's go see. As I'm taking this off, snake skin, or snake shed. It's not snake skin. Rugs. And the metal pipe for that old hunting cabin. Makeshift cabin thing. some wood planks or some shims, it looks like. That's pretty much it. This basically ripped apart just by hand. I'll kind of put it back together. This is all managed by, and I'm guessing this is probably an old hunting cabin or a spot that they would either hang out or some poachers. So we are now at the town shed. And my God, have I loaded up on some phenomenal gold out here on Devil's Island. Let's go see if there's a marker for this town shed or not. Okay, I just did one of the dumbest things. I put my back down because the trees got a little thick, and I said, oh, I'll just walk into the town shed without my bag. Got turned around, got looking at some big trees. Couldn't find my bag. Got on my GPS on my phone, looked wrong. Miranda. Trusted the GPS. Boom, found my bag, we're good. I was a little stressed, but we were, just keep calm. It's here, It's time to head back to base camp. We're gonna swim back across this little section of the Mississippi, get some dinner, get these jars out, and start cleaning them up a little bit. I might end this video here. This island is huge. Get a daddle up to a nice little spot to relax. Subscribe. Look how big this blue herring. Like, that's half my foot. That's like 5.5 inches. That thing is huge. Well, someone took my bike. And I'm pretty peeved about it, obviously. Because that was my boy. And dude, these rednecks out here, dude, they get so pissed off because it's like their land, their river, like as if they own the whole country. And I hope that my stuff where I left it is okay, because I left it literally at the sheriff's office. Well, not the sheriff's, but the wildlife game person's sheriff's office. We got about a 6-mile walk back to my shit that I hope nobody's fucked with or touched. So we stayed at Trail of Tears State Park. And it's a very old forest, beautiful. You can feel the energy here very strongly. Well, bike is gone. We have 7 miles to the next town. And we're gonna pull her by hand. I made a GoFundMe. And I'm very thankful to the people who have donated. Because that means I'll be able to get a new bike and continue my journey up the Mississippi. I'm so thankful for this opportunity to continue.